spiritual idols who react to other spiritual idols and people who pay money for a photo. Is this the dystopian plan that K-pop offers us to continue dominating the world market? Today we will find out. We'll find out aespa's prediction, the NFT group and the possible future of K-pop. All this and more in today's chapter of As all evolution means a change, we have witnessed several interesting proposals throughout the history of the K-pop industry, such as spiritual idols and the use of digital photo cards. Let's say that something was mentioned about it for a while, but all this commotion began to take more force after Hype announced that they had invested the humble amount of 4 billion goals. They come here for what? Is it to end hunger or to seek world peace? Well no, this was to create a metaverse. To keep the story short, let's say that they wanted to make a virtual universe where the fans lived with the artists. That is, you were going to be able to look for diamonds in the mines of Minecraft with the company of the great Jungkook. And by the way, they were going to sell NFT items. It was basically almost the same as what Meta offered, and like Meta, this is the hour where we don't know anything about the Hype metaverse. The only thing I knew about this is that Hype was planning to release digital photo cards, which didn't get a good reception from the public because people associated them with NFTs. And they said that in addition to not having any utility, they polluted the environment. Let's say that all this NFTs issue would have stopped there, but one day Moth House arrived, proposing that, among other things, the vast majority of their photo cards will be virtual, and that's how Triple S ended up dubbed the NFT group.
And
I myself felt redone about this idea when I was passed on the tidbit, but decided to investigate and found out how Moth House managed to make the idea that Hype paid 4 billion won for without any success work. And it is that Moth House is not a conventional K-pop agency. This is an open architecture company, which means that both the members and the fans have the opportunity to choose concepts, songs, subunits and others through a voting system called Gravity. The curious thing is that Moth House has implemented the use of digital photo cards, or as they call them, objects, to give order to these votes, since it is through the objects that you win, which is the pass that they give you so that you can participate in the votes. Also, if you don't want to pay for an item, Moth House still constantly holds events where you can participate to win them, which encourages the fandom to be more active. In fact, the vast majority of the items in my collection have been earned that way, by making edits and attending streams. And before they cancel me here, burning my ranch for having objects and polluting the environment, I want to clarify that no, the objects are not NFT. The objects are collectible digital objects. What is the difference between an NFT and a collectible digital object? In short, NFTs have cryptocurrency built in that digital collectibles don't. And this is a little detail that changes the whole thing. What do you think? Cryptocurrencies are digital money that people get or got by mining them with the help of high-end computers. And due to the great demand, there were people who created farms of several of these computers to be able to mine them before others. It is because of this large energy expenditure from farms that NFTs are said to pollute the environment. On the other hand, since the objects do not have cryptocurrencies, they do not pollute. In fact, quite the opposite. The objects could help the environment, because you and I are aware that within K-pop there is a big problem of consumerism. Surely you have already seen how people buy albums only to end up voting them away moments later. And why does this happen? They will wonder, why would someone trash vote the third edition of NCT? What happens is that there are people who buy the albums just to get the photo cards. And if the use of objects were to become widespread within K-pop, this problem could be drastically reduced, since you can get the photo cards without buying the album.
How has it been demonstrated on virtual sites?
Regarding virtual sites, it is already a bit more complicated, because although in countries like Japan the great success and popularity that virtual sites can have has already been demonstrated, as was the case with Hatsune Miku, the first virtual artist in J-pop. And in the world of music, there are even Chinese agencies that have joined these projects. And if we talk about South Korea, the idea did not end up convincing anyone until the virtual sites reached K-pop. We started with KDA, a group that debuted in 2018 and drew attention because the lineup was made up of characters from a video game. Law. KDA was very popular and received a lot of praise for the level of production. It's very impressive. I mean, when you see something super futuristic and it's like, What is that?
That's how you feel. Like it gave me a lot of impression to see what a virtual group is like.
However, the boom of virtual idols came with the SPA. This time we would see a group that has 4 real members and 4 virtual members, in addition to our Queen Mavis. And all this made sense because it had to do with the conceptual universe of ESPI. I made several videos talking about ESPA on my channel in case you want to know more about this group. Later we saw a Pokey, the virtual idol who has bunny ears, and Eternity, who have the best facial expressions I've ever seen in K-pop. Or more recently we find groups like Girls Reverse where idols from different groups like Sages participate. And how not to mention the groups that have given a lot to talk about lately. Maeve with 4 virtual members and Super Kind with 2 members that are IAZ, Sagine and Soon. And I say that they have given a lot to talk about because although nobody was very close to the idea of seeing virtual idols because people said that it was strange and that they would never be able to empathize with a computer, they managed to change many of these opinions with their debut. And so we realized the potential of this, since it has everything that K-pop is, good music, interesting concepts, and also when they have seen a real idol walk through the walls of a building and land in an autobus. Clearly there's a lot of cinematographic potential that agencies can exploit there, and Blackpink has even shown this to us with Ready for Love. And the strangest thing about all this is that in some psychological way we started to see these idols as characters from cartoons or from a video game, something like Gorillas. So the chips are socially accepted, something that would not even remotely happen with real idols, and many people have joined this meme saying things like the rumors of saucings that say that the Mavi members do not get along off camera or that Karina is very problematic. A comment became this. And if we, the public, become more receptive to these proposals, clearly this will not be the last time we hear of virtual idols. And because? Well, the people behind the industry, those guys in suits, it suits them. Because yes, the agencies will invest a lot of money to create these IYAs that are not cheap at all. But idols IYA in the end, they offer more advantages than disadvantages. Starting with the fact that the Koreans are becoming extinct, going through the fact that working with a robot is much more efficient than with a human being. Virtual idols don't make mistakes, they don't question the orders of their superiors, they just follow them. They don't spend services, they don't spend food. If it's male idols, they don't go on hiatus for military service and is icing on the cake. In the end, the companies won't have to pay a percentage of the profits to the idols, so 100% goes to them. And the IYOs, of course, the same agencies that create virtual idols have said so. The advantage of having virtual artists is that while K-pop stars often struggle with physical limitations or mental anguish because they are human beings, virtual artists are free of that. This is not to say that human idols will disappear. Virtual idols are not going to replace humans overnight. They will only become more accepted over time, and we may see them more often. Because just as much of the appeal of K-pop is that there are fans who take the time to appreciate when artists develop that talent to improve their skills. We like human and real stories, and we like to see human moments. Now, I ask the audience, what do you think of digital photo cards and virtual idols? Do you agree or do you think we should stop this here? In conclusion, SPA predicted it. If you want to see more of my content, you can go through my video from last week where we talked about Brave Girls and their song Tisban. Special greetings to the members who support this channel. I love you so much. Thanks for watching this far. See you in the next video. Bye bye.